Basically, I'm a developer before, but then I doing quite a lot of smart city implementation initiative in quite a lot of city in Indonesia, and start with that, I working with the government, helping the government to implementing all its smart city. The one thing is missing with me when I'm building a system for smart city, like smart, permit management systems, like identity systems. So my job that time is doing the system analysis and then discussing, consulting with the government, sit down with them and how we mapping the business model that they have with our systems, and then I'm mapping it out. And then after that, I'm seeing that something is like, okay, this is the gap thing that they want you like, we can control the data. When this one, we can track the data and everything. I just figure out myself that, what if there is my data? What if the government or the entity or the developers do the bad thing? Who will protect the people? So I don't have a control basically with my data. I only get the benefit because we are giving all of our access to the entity, right? Or access to the data. And that is not clicking in my side. And when I learned about blockchain, and then, so this is the one technology can filling the gap on the adoption of smart city and also on the, system itself. The one thing that I love about blockchain is like the decentralization that's happening on blockchain. For the technology side, it's something new for me, but for the concept, it's not a new thing in Bali. So Bali, it's already decentralized. Since long time ago, there's a lot of kingdom in all the Bali. There is no one very big king. No, there is a lot of small king. They collaborate to each other. They're creating a forums, and every single decision that they want to decide, they doing on discussion. This basically is the same time like a consensus itself, right? And then after the Bali government moved from kingdom to republic, we have like small village system that called Banjar. Banjar is decentralized community that in one village. So one village can have like 16 Banjar or like 20 Banjars. Every single decision that they make, they using discussion, and every single person putting their own note what they're happening. So a long time ago, the land is belonged to the community. So when that's due, when I have a brother, if I want to like splitting my land with my brother, I go to all this Banjar, like, okay, Banjar, let's sit down and have a discussion. And then I'm explaining that me and my brother want to separate my land. So every single community member will write it down. And this is how it's, okay, you agree all? Okay, your weaknesses all, yeah, done. This is a ledger, basically. So this is how it works. So based on that, I'm saying that blockchain is not a new new concept in Bali. And in Indonesia, we call it gotong royong. It's like helping each other. We're doing a community consensus, and every single decision that we make, we're doing it together with all the community. So this is basically a community justice. In Indonesia, there's a lot of island. Every single island, they have their own culture. And in one island can be like 5, 10, 12, like 20 culture, and a lot of language also. We have like, I think it's like 2,000 language like that. It's like we have a lot of dialect here. And in one island can be one province. In one island can be 2 or 3 or more province. Or maybe one province with a lot of islands. We have a lot of, sea. Water is everywhere, and sometimes some of our water is dangerous. So we have a lot of problem with the supply chains and everything also. That's why the government creating a sea toll. Before the current government, the price in the east is more expensive than the price of commodity in the west because of it's not good in supply chain. This government, even though it's not perfect, but they are creating a toll to all of both of the side, west and east. So now the price is not as expensive like before in the east, and it's almost balanced now. So with this because of this archipelago of Indonesia, the government creating the autonomous governance. So every single city and regency, they can create their own decision making for their people. In some areas, the province has the autonomy. In some areas, the regency and city has their own autonomy. But each of the autonomy is based on what level of the decision they want to make. So basically, they can create their own database. That's why as every single regency, they have their own system, and they are creating data silos. Even though that in each city or in each regency, every single department, they have their own database, and it's not connected yet. So this is a problem here. It's like decentralized already, but they are using the centralized ecosystems. I think it's not quite suitable. Some of the entity have their own server, but some of them is like centralized in the central government in Indonesia. But it's still, they are, there's a lot of input for one data. It's messing up because we are handling 280 million people. It's not easy to do it. Us cannot trust our own data, in the government, because in one department with the same of data, for example, like how many kids it's here in the city. In one department, say, for example, like 2 million kids, and then another department say, oh, it is 1,800,000. It's different. It's quite a lot of, that is happening here. Because they don't have a unified data structures, they don't have a unified database, and even though that they want to creating a database with themselves, I don't know how to do that, with collecting everything and protecting everything, because this is also a problem. We have a lot of data breach problem here in Indonesia. I think for us, like, it's like a bottleneck, how we can solve this problem. So this is blockchain has potential to do this, and with this kind of mechanisms, there's no single failure. And with decentralization, we can trust the community, because if the community want to do bad, that means we in the bad community. So I think it's not giving a risk or something like that to one entity. We're starting in 2022 with the concept thing. So both my company and Republic Labs, both of us, we discussion about how we can creating the ecosystem that can supporting and like seamlessly integrate each other, So this Mandala chain is the place, the network that where government and enterprise and also public can be seamlessly integrated. The government can create their own blockchain and it can be permissioned blockchain, but they still protecting in our permissionless blockchain. So every entity, if they want to create their own consensus, they want to create their own blockchain governance, they can do it in Mandala chain. They can control their own data, but the dApps can be everyone built. I believe it's like there is no one blockchain for everything. So in every single government or entity, they can create their own data structures and everything like that, but they still can connect it interoperably in each other. So this is how we want to creating This is how the silos will be gone because they will be still connected to each other. This is what we do. Government know that blockchain is crypto. Crypto is blockchain, right? So we are giving them a different perspective. Blockchain is mechanisms of data protection and creating the data integrity. We want them to understand that blockchain is not crypto. We want to separating blockchain and crypto itself. Blockchain is basically a database, but different structures. This is the first liners that I always talk with the government now and also entities. And it's database. It's easy to them to understand. So can we just do like on application and then we split the database? One is in our database and then one in blockchain. Why not? Then they understand. We even creating a blockchain bootcamp for government in last year in 2023 with the national planning development. We are talking about blockchain, how it blockchain for digital identity, how blockchain for land registry, how blockchain of supply chain at that time, how blockchain can supporting the certification and trust to the certificate, how blockchain can be protected, the data inside of the government. We do, and we also giving them use cases, for example, like how Estonia doing that. And then we are introducing Polkadot technology also, how Polkadot doing have a substrate and how this will be supporting and helping us to creating our own blockchain. This is like opening their mind that they say that, okay, so the blockchain is not crypto only? No, crypto is one constituency of blockchain. But there is a lot of things. Why don't we use it and like actually using in our data? So not only like crypto side, but using for medical record, our digital identity, our transaction in government, our certificate, our, I don't know, whatever that they need to be secure, safe, and need integrity, go for blockchain. So this is how we promoting them. And they are, then we have a plan. We are glad that we are partnership with Denpasar City because they open a lot of door to us, to every single department. It's not only in Denpasar, but also in the province and to national. Even that we have opportunity to go to Perth, Australia. So we are explaining to Western Australia government that how we are using blockchain as a campaign of data protection. So we want to be active in the ecosystems. That's why the government is really supporting us to go outside of the country and actively contribute to the world, because this is our forefather, our founding father wants us to do. The philosophy of Indonesia is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Bhinneka is mean separated, big, variant. And then Tunggal Ika is like being one. So this is like the opportunity to Indonesia to doing a leap of faith, this leap of frog, poof, doing that with this new technology. A lot of investment is opening now to Indonesia to doing this. Big population is also a market, and they are young population. So youngers that open with a new technology. They are like digital savvy. They want to change because they are Z generation. And because of that, we don't want only a market. We don't want only consumer. We want to be producers of everything, because this is what the spirit of the government want to do. And they already putting blockchain as their core infrastructures to aiming Indonesia, golden Indonesia 2045. This is how we are seeing that with this kind of big potential, Indonesia should be one of the country that giving a very big contribution to our civilization in whole world. So we are just launching the ID chain white paper. The ID chain is like the protocol and the chain for every single department or identity issuers to putting all the verifiable credentials on chain. So the users don't need to like, okay, I have my ID card and I bring my ID card everywhere. They don't need to do this. They can use blockchain. They can doing the verification credential mechanisms. And the only thing that they are moving is a verifiable credential token. This is the only thing that they move it forward. We also do combining the WEB3 domain with identity, because Indonesia has our top level domain that called .id. Is our top level domain. So we want to Okay, so we have these resources that's called .id. Why don't we use it and giving a benefit to the world by putting blockchain technology behind of .id, and they can using it to create their own ID. So the first is ID chain. And with these two, Mandala chain and ID chain, we are implementing in a lot of use cases. We have medical record ongoing now. The POC is done. And imagine that you have application and all the medical record is over here. And if you want to go to another hospital, you just give them the consent code so they can access your medical record. And you know that who is accessing your medical record. And you can revoke them if you want. As an individual, you can access your own medical record. You have a control of your medical record. And for the hospital, they can editing your medical record, but as your permission. It will be in Mandala chain, but they're using ID chain for the identity. So in the application itself, the medical record, we're not recording your personal data. It's only your medical record data. So even though that people want to hack and want to breach your data, they know is the medical. So who is this belong to? I don't know. It's not showing that it belongs to someone because it's already protected. So we want to creating like this. It's not only helping us to own our own medical record, but also for insurance. So insurance have the same problem with that, the double claiming for the insurance itself, and then the fraud of insurance. So insurance want to helping us to build this also. Some of the insurance in Indonesia already discussing with us and want to using our POC. We also focus on the microfinancing in Indonesia. We know there is a lot of cooperative in Indonesia, a mutual fund. There's a lot of problem in mutual funds itself, on the cooperative itself. There's governance problems. There is fraudulence problems. So based on that, Indonesia need more solution, and blockchain can be a solution. We already speak with one of the biggest software as a service core banking for cooperative that we starting to discussing with them. That call this startup is we call it Join. So they have 137 now. They have 90 before, but now I just got update 137 cooperative, the banking services cooperative in Indonesia. And then we also have a project of property, how we can tokenize the real estate. Also, we creating a mechanism how to tokenize the gold. It's not done yet for the POC, but we are now in discussion for boarding some real world asset on our ecosystem. So there's a lot of things, and also support with decarbonation and energy transition. So we have some of discussion now. And also we have the use cases of now we are exploring about the supply chain. Basically, it's not a new thing because blockchain is already using on supply chain, tracking systems like that. But in Indonesia, they don't know how to do it. Because the problem that I'm seeing, we are talking with a lot of government, talking with a lot of people. And okay, blockchain is good. Blockchain is fantastic. Then the next question coming. So where we start? How we explain it? So this is what we want to making a very seamless transition. That's why we go to a lot of Web2 application that already working, already running well, and we're creating the layer to integrate their application to blockchain. So we're starting with that. So the end user didn't see the difference, but they got the benefit. So, because if you're saying about the data protection and data safety, data integrity, it's not every single day you will asking the integrity of your data. But if something happen, then you need this data, the integrity. So mass adoption on blockchain itself is not only about people downloading the wallet and then doing a crypto transaction. No, but we can helping them to understand and putting their data on blockchain and using mass adoption on blockchain by using their daily life transaction. If we can tapping the blockchain technology on its existing application, this is the adoption. The people don't need to understand about blockchain. The people only know the benefit of it. It's enough. So it's better, okay, you want to do transaction. Okay, use this application. Why? Because you can trust it. Why? It's because it's blockchain. What is blockchain? Then you learn. That's why we speak with a lot of SaaS application provider, software as a service application, SaaS. We helping them to do this and putting the layer, and we focus on the narrative that blockchain can protecting and creating integrity of your data. They already investing a lot of money on their application and technology. It's not wise to say that, wipe your technology and change to mine. It's not how it works. If you see how Polkadot ecosystem, that's why I love the Polkadot ecosystems. There are each of the ecosystem, if each of parachain and everything in the Polkadot, they're helping each other. Oh, your palette is good. Can we use it? It's good. This is what I love about Polkadot. And also, I'm doing the same thing to the Web2. So, okay, your application is good. Let's face it up. The first is, okay, let's recording all of your transaction, the 5,000 transaction to our blockchain. The first step. Just protecting your data. The second step. So the second phase is let mapping the identity. The third step, let change the business model. And then the fourth step, boom, you are Web3 now. So this is how we're doing. I know this is not a short term to make it happen, but someone need to do it. Someone need to making the step. Because if not, nothing going to happen in blockchain. We will always be in bearish and bullish ecosystem, which is it's not good for our ecosystems for long term. My partner, Michael, there is the CEO of Republic Rupiah. He was quite like a Polkadot person at the time, but I don't know at first. And I just like, okay, I'm not going to. I'm researching every single blockchain, but I'm not on Polkadot yet. And then he'll say, why don't you use Polkadot? The technology is fantastic. They have a substrate and everything, blah 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 blah. And then really, and then I'm talking with our developers, and then we researching together. We're researching about how we put in blockchain and everything, blah 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 blah. We're saying, wow, Polkadot is a good thing. This is a good technology. We can build blockchain much faster with substrate. Also, there are a lot of collaboration we can do, and Polkadot has a layer 0 that we can share with. And people in Indonesia don't know about Polkadot, and we want to promoting Polkadot here. I think we have an opportunity in Indonesia. And then with Michael say, okay, there's no brainer. Let's go. Let's do on Polkadot. And then I'm glad that we met with Krishna. Krishna is a local blockchain ambassador here. With his guidance, all our developers understand substrate, understand Rush, understand how the frame and everything, our ecosystems. And based on that, we say that, okay, let's creating a kickoff meeting and putting in one villa in Canggu, all of our developer, boom, and creating the timeline and everything. Yeah, we are doing that for 2 days. I putting my developers for 2 days, just only like creating the timeline and everything on one villa. And that Mandala chain is born. Starting with that. We want to creating a local talent, That's why we have a Mandala Chain Academy also, and we have an agreement with university students to like boarding them to come to Mandala Chain Academy. So Mandala Chain Academy will be launching on September this year, and we will build the substrate-based blockchain developers. You can imagine that if our vision ideally happening, how many developers we need? I mean, if one government in Indonesia want to implementing blockchain, do you think one developer is enough? I don't think so. And we are not changing. The Blockchain Academy is not changing the university. No, we are like a course. So when you are finished university, you come to our course, we prepare you, and then you go to industry. So this is what we are doing now. In Bali, in Sanskrit, Mandala is a space. So if you see a multiverse with a lot of mechanisms, so this is Mandala, there's another Mandala, there's a Mandala in space. In Bali, we use Mandala for separating the very holy area of temple, holy, middle holy, and non-holy. So in the middle of the temple, we call Utama Mandala. This is the space when we pray. is over here. So the middle holly is our Madhya Mandala. This is the place where we interact with each other. And then the last one is Han holly. This is like for everything for common activity. So this is a common area. It's called Sudra Mandala. We saw that. So these three mandala is the structures, and we are implementing on mandala. That's why the main network of mandala is Utama Mandala. This is the holy one. We say that this is the core of the permissionless, and Utama Mandala is our parachain. It's basically it's there. And then Madhya Mandala is the place when we interact, where adoption is happening. So this is why Madhya Mandala is our layer 2. So this is like space on space, like mandala on mandala on mandala, like this. So this is what is meant by mandala. So Southeast Asia is ruled by one kingdom before. They're called Majapahit. Majapahit is the biggest maritime kingdom in Asia before. Even Mongolia cannot conquer them. Majapahit had a good collaboration with China empire at that time. So the only reason why Majapahit is falling is because of the inside reason. A lot of attack to Majapahit cannot make Majapahit fall. They are really strong, and they are making Indonesia being one. Yeah, so this is their currency. It's called Kepeng. Kepeng is like a coin, but there is a square hole inside. Until now, but it's still used for culture. Even in every single ceremony we have here, you need to have a Kepeng. So this is the belief. Kepeng is about prosperity, purity, and also the believing of whatever that we built on. It's a sovereignty of our culture. So this is why I call it Kepeng itself. Before, it's backed by, this Kepeng coin is backed by rice, sometimes by rice, sometimes by gold, sometimes by services, something like that. But now, we rise this Kepeng up and we back it from the block spaces. Baliola adalah blockchain integrator dan development di Indonesia, dan sekarang kami adalah leadernya di Indonesia. Dan ini sebagian besar developer kami itu adalah alumni dari kalian semua, anak Stiko. Kalian nggak usah jauh-jauh belajar blockchain sampai ke ujung kulon, sampai ke Amerika. Mereka di sini loh. Mau ngambil nggak kesempatannya? Itu pertanyaan buat kalian.